This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Friday, February the 12th. Race number 7 at Santa Anita. Let's throw up the field for the kickoff leg of the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4. It's an optional claiming race for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. And you can download free Formulator Pass performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. The morning line favorite, the 5, She's Our Charm, Mike. Graded stakes placed last time out, drops in class and distance.
Yeah, I agree with the morning line maker that she's the horse to beat in this race, Dan. Getting the class relief she probably needs in here. And the other thing that I think that you like about her is, aside from the class relief, is she's got plenty of early speed.
That is a very good segue into our Timeform US pace projector. She's Our Charm is the number 5. You'll notice that Timeform US believes this pace will be fast and that it will be set by the 4 Miss Stormy D. But Miss Stormy D's fast races, or at least from a fractional standpoint, have come on dirt. So it'll be interesting to see if she can transfer that speed to the turf. She's only sprinted on grass in her career.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Miss Stormy D certainly has some speed as well, Dan, but she also has a lot of questions surrounding her in this race, not only regarding surface, but also regarding distance.
A horse that could sit a good trip in behind the speeds is the number 1, Tapwater. This is a 5-year-old that's only made 7 lifetime starts. Trainer Dick Mandela's had a problem getting her to the races. Here's a formulator fact for Tapwater's trainer Mandela, and it's a limited positive one. Over the past year with older turf routers off 2 to 4 month layoffs and Santa Anita optional claiming races, he's 3 for 4 with a $6.25 ROI. Couldn't find the excuse behind She's Our Charm last time out. She's Our Charm got loose. Tapwater sat second. Tapwater tired pretty readily in the stretch, almost like she was crying out for a layoff.
Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe she'll come back with a better effort here, Dan. Maybe she needed that layoff for a horse who hasn't done that much racing. Far be it for me to recognize why she would have needed a layoff after that. We'll see. I didn't think she ran well at all last time, so we'll see if she can do better in here.
The number 2 is Love and Peace, making her second start of the form cycle for Neil Drysdale. She's stretching out in distance, and she's eligible to show a bit more speed than the pace projector had her because she was a gate-to-wire winner 3 starts back at Golden Gate and a pace presser against stakes horses 2 back. Her buyers are kind of light, though, compared to some of the others, Mike. I think she needs to take a slight step forward.
Yeah, I kind of look at her the same way, Dan. I mean, since she's gotten over here at the end of 2018, she's 1 for 11 over here. Not that her races are bad. I mean, she's run fine. She's pretty consistent. But the only time that she won is when she got loose on the lead, and she can't get loose on the lead in here.
If the pace is competitive, the number 3 On Mars is a very dangerous closer that's in good form for Phil D'Amato. Let's watch her last race, the Lady Shamrock Stakes, back in December. And as you can see, she made a very bold and early run into the teeth of the pace. But look at her, Mike. She's in San Francisco. Understandably, she's going to flatten out late, and she was wired in this race, and the runner-up came back to win the Grade 3 Endeavor for Chad Brown last week at Tampa with an 88. This wide trip really hurt her chances.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I actually felt like she ran really well in here. Now, I will, just note that even though Nasty wired the field, she went a pretty legitimate pace in here, so On Mars did have something to run at. But, man, she made an early run. She was wide all the way around the turn. You saw the counterparty Risk there, who wound up second, who was a good horse too, just sort of sat it out and saved ground while this horse made the first run and had to go wide. This horse ran a really good race last time.
Miss Stormy D has credentials on the main track, graded stakes placed in her most recent start on the main. She hasn't run on turf since October of 2019 in this short sprint, going 5.5 furlongs at Santa Anita and turning into the stretch. This really isn't the place you usually want to be. Last inside, although she was able to save a lot of ground and things worked out.
Things ultimately did work out for her. She bobbled at the start of this race, and it was probably further back than they wanted her to be. I guess she ran fine, Dan. It does sort of look like, though, man, she really improved once they switched her over to dirt. So now she has to prove that she's as good on this surface as she is on the main track.
It's like old-time Santa Anita. You've got Mandela, you've got Drysdale, you've got The great Ron McAnally with the 5, She's Our Charm. And this horse ran a good third last time out in the Robert J. Frankel Stakes. Now, I thought it was kind of an interesting ride that on the backstretch, the jock abandoned the rail. And as we turn into the lane, She's Our Charm is in between horses. She will eventually battle back and finish ahead of the horse down inside Miss Tehran. Mucho Unusual right now is just seeing dead red in Southern California. She would win this race. She would come back to win the Megahertz with a 90 buyer. She has won 3 of her last 4, with the only loss coming when she was overmatched in the Breeders' Cup. She's Our Charm ran just fine.
Yeah, she did run just fine in this race. And, going into that race, Dan, the question that I had was, is 9 furlongs too far for her? Because if she feels to me like a horse who maybe doesn't want to go that far, getting clear on a relatively modest pace in that Franco last time, I'm sure helped her cause. But she did run just fine in that race. She's dropping back down here. Listen, the last time they ran her in this condition over this track and at this distance was back in October, and she easily wired that field.
There are some questions regarding the 6, Queen of God. We have not seen her since May. She is a 4-year-old taking on older horses for the first time, and her only stakes victory to date came on Synthetico, and she was completely overmatched against some nice horses in the Tepin in her most recent race. That race produced 3 next out stakes placed horses that earned buyers between 87 and 88. She has a little bit of tactical speed, Mike, but this is a tough spot off the layoff.
Yeah, she doesn't find herself in an easy race here, first time back off of a pretty long layoff. So we'll see what she can do. I'm inclined to give her one, Dan, just because her prior form, while it isn't terrible, just doesn't do a lot for me.
Silver File made her North American debut last time out. That was way back on October the 25th. She ran into a pretty good field. The third place horse of that race came back to run third again with a 90 buyer speed figure, and she was kind of in and among horses for some of the way there.
She was, she just typical, I guess, European shipper, Dan. She just was last away from the gate. They rated her back off the pace. I thought she got clear with time and just didn't really have that much of a kick. They shipped her over here about the last 6 months or so of 2020. She was in good form overseas.
Moonhall Millie comes out of that Lady of Shamrock, and while On Mars went very, very wide, Moonhall Millie got a beautiful ground-saving pocket trip, split horses in the 2-path turning for home, still finished behind On Mars. Now it's Moonhall Millie mired in the far outside post.
Yeah, I didn't really like her effort last time, Dan. I mean, I thought she got an overall very good trip and just really wasn't good enough. Not that, again, she didn't run terribly in there, but I just thought, based on trips out of that last race, I'd rather have On Mars. But this filly, on the other hand, is more tactical than that one, so we'll see.
Top pick time for our Friday DRF race of the day. You're going with On Mars. Everyone saw the trip. Wide last time out. She should get some pace here. She'll be rolling in the stretch. I'm hoping that Tapwater just needed a little bit of a freshening. She's run well fresh in the past. Actually, rarely strings races back to back together. She almost always runs fresh. Maybe she'll get the jump on Mars from stalking range. You like 3-5.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both have the morning line favorite. She's Our Charm second in our picks. I'm not, way against her, Dan, but she might have to race a little bit early in here. And if she does, I think that helps On Mars.
3587 for Mike, 1583 for me. It's the Friday DRF race of the day, the 7th race at Santa Anita with an approximate post time of 3:45 Pacific time. Best of luck.